Geek World.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Geek World Radio. So everyone's been getting all excited about the new Godzilla trailer because it looks awesome.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston's fighting Godzilla. I assume what's going to happen at the end of this movie is he's going to drink some kind of radioactive material and become a giant Bryan Cranston, and they're going to fight.
I just figured he'd get Godzilla hooked on meth.
Oh, good call. Maybe he invents Mechagodzilla and that'll be the sequel.
Mechagodzilla.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. That's sort of like the bad guy in RoboCop 2, isn't it? It's
really
a robot
is.
addicted to drugs.
Yeah. So what we decided to do is sort of give you a guide to recognizing your classic Japanese monsters. We're going to take the 5 most recognizable classic Japanese monsters and kind of tell you which one's which.
First one up. Godzilla, also known as Gojira, also known as the badass who came out in 1954 and started this entire kaiju genre.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the way that you recognize Godzilla is that he looks like a dinosaur.
Yes.
He's got like the spines down his back. He's a giant lizard. Except he has kind of more of a human torso.
What are some of his powers?
Well, he's got this atomic breath, which, kind of generates energy inside his stomach, then it comes out in a giant, wave of blue or red rays.
So anime, we're talking about classic Godzilla, of how big he is, his atomic breath and stuff, but throughout the years there's also been various versions in different media, and these are some of the other powers they've given Godzilla. Atomic pulse, magnetism, precognition, fireballs, anime.
Wow.
He's got fireballs.
Yeah.
Electric bite.
Wow.
Electric bite.
Weird.
Superhuman speed.
Well, I mean, he's giant, so...
Yeah, it's
kind of
so
weird.
superhuman. I mean, he's already got to be faster than a human if, just by, walking is so much further.
I mean, he walks
just
and it's
by-
already like a city block.
Yeah, exactly. So doesn't that already make him superhuman speed in a way?
Technically. Maybe super Godzilla speed.
Exactly. I-beams.
Wow.
I-beams. And also flight.
And let's not forget, sometimes he's saddled with a strange young companion, Gatsuki.
Exactly.
Not his son, by the way.
Not his son, no.
Because his son is Manila.
Exactly. Good point, anime. And one other quick thing about Godzilla, he's not actually the enemy of humanity. In the first one, he destroyed Tokyo, but after that, he would come back and he would basically, it's not that he likes humans as much as that he's willing to protect humans against a ginormous threat to the Earth.
Well, he's not exactly willing to protect humans, I wouldn't say. I think he's just more willing to fight another giant monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's just, the fact is that he's a giant lizard. He's just a force of destruction.
Totally. So 2 years later, in 1956, they created Rodan.
Yeah, now Rodan is, sort of, again, back to the dinosaur era. You got this pterodactyl creature.
Yeah, he's freaking huge.
Yeah.
And what are his powers, anime?
Well, his main power is the sonic boom, in which case he, releases the sonic boom from his body and can pretty much destroy every building in his path.
Yeah, it's so true. It's crazy the amount of destruction this guy does.
Yeah.
So Rodan's pretty cool all by himself, but he got even cooler when he showed up, became part of the whole big Godzilla umbrella thing. When he showed up in Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster, he came back and he ended up banding together with Godzilla and Mothra in order to stop Ghidorah.
If Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla all cooperate, they might be able to overcome Ghidorah.
Now, back in that time, one of the cool things about Rodan was that he was actually the fastest of all the monsters, because he could fly at supersonic speeds. But, in later incarnations of things, they've made much faster ones, because people like to, everything's got to be bigger, faster, stronger. One of the other things to know about Rodan is that physically he has these spikes coming out of his chest that he has at times used as a weapon. So.
Yes, exactly. And not in the Showa version, but in later incarnations, Rodan becomes Fire Rodan. It's like he evolves like a Pokemon.
Yeah, seriously.
And he basically also has a nuclear blast that's sort of like what Godzilla has.
You gotta see Charizard?
Yeah, and he even has the power to give life to another thing, but dying himself. He's got kind of it's like a phoenix, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very much like a phoenix. So Rodan's pretty badass anime.
And he was a great sculptor too.
Okay, anime, so Godzilla's awesome. We all know that. He's the king of monsters. That's what Raymond Burr said. And also on top of that, we had Rodan already. But probably the second most famous of all of these classic Japanese monsters is Mothra.
Mothra's awesome.
Mothra is awesome. So Mothra started in 1961. Basically, Mothra is like this little caterpillar, butterfly mouth creature that lives on this island, is worshipped by the people of that island. And also there's 2 little twin fairies that can call out Mothra when she needs to protect things.
Yeah, they pray her into battle.
Exactly. So Mothra got to Tokyo and totally messed stuff up, because that's what giant monsters do.
It's true, but because Mothra was really a good guy, you know, didn't want to mess things up, but was sort of forced into it.
Exactly.
You know, that's, I think, why people kind of became attached to the character.
That, and also because Mothra is, like, the prettiest of all the monsters. I think it's also the most unique, you know? Like, honestly, at the end of the day, most of these are just, like, dinosaur-esque type monsters.
This is the first giant bug.
Exactly. And I also think that people like that Mothra, like, starts off as, like, a little caterpillar thing, and then turns into Mothra. That's cool, right?
It is cool.
So awesome. People love transformation.
They do.
But Anime, since you're a girl and you like pretty things like butterflies, what's Mothra's powers?
Okay, well, obviously, like you said, can change form, you know, going from the larval form into the moth form. And obviously it can fly because it's a giant moth. Also, it can create, like, hurricane force winds with its wings.
Whoa.
It can spit silk and, like, I don't know, make things sticky. It can also release poison, spraying poison down upon you.
Nice. That's pretty badass.
Now, Mothra was also seen to have some sort of magical powers. I mean, she was accompanied by fairies, so it sort of makes sense that there's some sort of magic there.
Totally.
Not just because it's Mothra.
No.
Mothra the magical.
Beautiful, beautiful butterfly.
Wonderful. Moth.
Moth.
Ruh.
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
Whatever. So in 1964, we got Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Now, Ghidorah's actually an alien invader that came to Earth on a magnetic meteorite and basically crashed down and started destroying everything.
Magnetic meteor. That's
yeah,
cool.
Totally.
That seems pretty dangerous in itself.
I know. It's like, hey, it's like magnets. How do they work? But this is the thing about Ghidorah that's really cool. Ghidorah's really the start of this big sort of monster mash. This is really the start of, like, these monsters becoming, like, the Avengers.
Monster team-ups!
Exactly, where basically Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan all got together after they fought a little bit, like all those things start, and they all fought Ghidorah together.
Yeah, well, they had to fight over who gets to fight Ghidorah.
Exactly.
But what they didn't see is that Ghidorah has 3 heads. 3 guys versus 3 heads.
And not only that, but Ghidorah could fly, so like Godzilla's at a disadvantage, but Rodan isn't, Mothra isn't.
Exactly.
And so it's like they all had to team up, and now Ghidorah's really cool, because Ghidorah has 3 heads, no arms, wings, and can shoot these sort of energy waves out of its mouth.
Yeah, not to mention that, like Mothra, it can create hurricane force winds with its wings.
Totally. Ghidorah's really awesome, but I also like to mention that later on, a few decades later, it had a Mecha Ghidorah.
Yeah, well...
That's right.
Mecha always makes things better, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, we know about Mecha Godzilla, but does everyone know about Mecha Ghidorah? They should. There's a whole movie about it.
Remember in the Buffy comic when they made Mechadon?
That was awesome. That was really good, yeah. So Anime, what makes all of these creatures really interesting is they're all from the same company. They're all the same studio called Toho.
Right.
Toho is the creator of Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah. But there is one more super popular, super awesome Japanese classic monster that we couldn't leave off the list. And even though it's not Toho, he's still super awesome. Who is it, Anime?
Gamera.
Mm-hmm. Turtle power.
Not to be mistaken with Gamera from the Guardians of the Galaxy. So like you said, Gamera is a giant turtle creature. Except it has teeth and tusks and is just awesome. It also flies. It has a couple different methods of flying, one of which is to essentially become a rocket turtle.
Yes, and it spins like crazy.
Yeah, and in later incarnations, it sort of bladed things while it spun.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah. But in addition to that, it also can breathe fire. And obviously it has teeth and tusks, and that's pretty dangerous.
Yes.
The other thing about Gamera is that because it's a turtle, it has that shell, and that shell is nearly impenetrable.
Yes.
You really can't get by it. Now, the underside is a little more vulnerable, but that shell, you can't touch that.
Yeah, you have to get Gamera on the underboob if you hope to get him. And by the way, Anime, is it possible, since Warner Brothers and Legendary did both Godzilla and Pacific Rim, for there to be a mashup of those 2 movies?
In the next one, we're going to need a way for us to defeat the Kaiju.
Exactly.
What better way than Godzilla?
Totally. Monster versus monster. It's like Attack on Titan up in here.
Awesome.
Either way, guys, what's your favorite classic Japanese monster? Let us know in the comments down below. If you want to listen to our radio show, we're on every week on Indie 100 and The Point.
And if you want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email to geekworldradio@yahoo.com, and be sure to check out our website, geekworldradio.com.
Godzilla! Godzilla! Godzilla!
And Gatsuki!
Geek World Radio.